Hello, everyone. Welcome to a short episode of the podcast Field Goals and Forecasts on Afterthought Sports YouTube channel. I'm Ryan Adio, not joined by James Derrick, and of course, I'm not at the radio station St. Bonaventure, New York. I'm home at the moment. That's why it's a little bit of a shorter episode for you guys, but I did want to cover some Combine winners and losers. So if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of just jump straight into that. I've watched most of the Combine. I would say probably 80% of it at least. And I have more winners than losers because it's easier to identify when a guy is doing well at the Combine than when he's doing poorly at the Combine, at least most of the time. So I'm going to go over my winners here, and then I'll get into my losers later, which, again, like I said, there's only a few of them. Let's start with the D linemen as they went first at the Combine. Let's start with Joshua Farmer, the defensive lineman. I think I want to say he's an edge from Florida State. He was fast, he had great hands, he had really, really nice change of direction, and I know he was a pretty highly projected player. I want to say at least second round, but I think he's definitely solidified his spot there, and even maybe, encroached into that first round area, which good for him. And another D lineman I have here is Ainias Peebles, Peebles, the defensive lineman from Virginia Tech. He was moving. That dude was moving. He was fast. He accelerated, and he did really, really well on pretty much all the drills. He just proved himself. Like I said, these smaller school guys really need to prove themselves, especially a guy like Ainias who came from Virginia Tech, where there's not a ton of eyes on him as other maybe SEC schools or really like Alabama, Georgia, those type of schools. So proving yourself here and showing your measurables, showing how good you actually are. It's huge for him, and I think he definitely got his name out there. I wasn't sure where he was placed before this, but I would say he's at least a fourth rounder now. I'm at least. I think he's going to probably go higher than that. C.J. West, the interior lineman from Indiana. He's a big man. He was moving. He was going through all those drills. I literally have written here, just big man was moving. And he had really tight movement, especially for a defensive, like interior nose tackle. I think that's really impressive showing for him. He definitely got his draft stock up there, especially teams that need big interior linemen. Like let's say people are looking for another Vita Vea. I think you got a good case with this kid. James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. I know he's an edge rusher. I know he's had personality problems maybe, but his combine was outstanding. So at least there's that. Again, a lot of these guys were just moving fast. For D linemen, you don't expect them to come out of the gate just absolutely, torching it. But these guys really were. And he's from Tennessee, so he had eyes on him. I think he was already, kind of projected first round, but I think now he's definitely solidified that, even maybe pushing, top 20, 25-ish area, which, hey, good for him, man. Now, I've got some linebackers here. It was defensive lineman linebackers first day, so I've got a lot of those. One of the players that I said to watch in our last episode, Jihaad Campbell from Alabama. He didn't run all the drills, but he did what he had to do. He showed up, showed out. He's fast. He's fast, and he's for real. I think he definitely got his draft stock up. He proved that he's right where he's supposed to be, at least projection-wise. So, hey, good for him. Landon Jackson, the linebacker from Arkansas. If anybody saw his vertical, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's one of the best verticals I've seen in a very long time from a big guy like a linebacker. He pretty much killed every single drill. His draft stock went way up. And again, Arkansas, kind of a smaller school, on the smaller side at least. Definitely got his draft stock up there. And I think if you're thinking about it, Jihaad Campbell, on the fall off, he's kind of on that third round, second round fall off. But if you need a linebacker, I think you're willing to reach, and he could end up going in the second round, which he definitely got his stock up from before. Tight end here, Mason Taylor from LSU. His gauntlet drill, if you go back and watch it, one of the just absolute straightest, straight down the line, really, really amazing gauntlet. I think he had a really nice day. I know there was a lot of people looking at him before, but he's definitely, there's so many good tight ends in this draft. So he's definitely vying for that top 3, top 4 position. And I think he made his way into at least top 4. Let's see who else I have here. Getting to DBs, I have another player we told you to watch, at least James told you to watch, Trey Amos from Ole Miss. He really needed to run a good 40 time, and that's what he did. He came out, he ran a great 40. The big weakness with him was he was getting torched over the top, and so they were saying maybe he's just slow. But no, he came out, he ran a sub 440, really good showing from him, and I think he did most of the drills, and I think he was outstanding. He's definitely worked his way, at least in my head. He's worked his way into top 5 corners for me, and there are a lot of really good corners. So that's saying something. Zoff Frazier, the defensive back from UTSA. Again, these lower mid-tier schools here. He did every drill like exceptionally well. He at least proved he has the athleticism to play defensive back in the NFL. He had a really good combine. Maxwell Hairston from Kentucky. I think he was probably one of the best, if not the best, like consensus combine performer. He had a really good 40. He ran a 4.28, and he was just tight on every single drill. And he needed this. He was hurt during the season. This is really his, hey, I'm still here. I'm still, kicking. I'm still going to be a top. He's probably in the top 5 DBs for me as well now. He's a top 5 corner. He really proved himself in this one. Ray, I don't know how to say his name. Rayuan, Raywan Lane the third from Navy. He did really well on pretty much every drill. He was so smooth. That's something that I really want to mention. He was just so smooth in every single drill. And I think being from Navy, he really had to put his name on the map, and that's what he did. I got a couple more guys here. Billy Bowman Jr. from OKU. OKU. I want to say that's Oklahoma, I think. I don't know why I abbreviated it. He did pretty much the same thing, just really well on every single drill. I think he definitely made his way into probably top 5, 6, 7 safeties if you want to reach that far. A lot of really good DBs in this draft. I've mentioned it before. I think he definitely got his draft stock up, and like I said, really well in every drill. Both of those guys really surprised me. I had never heard of either of them before the combine, and now they put their names on the map. So I think, at least I would say 4th, maybe 5th round on both of them. At least. They could go higher. And then my last winner here, a guy that I told you to look out for, Baishul Tutin, the running back from Virginia Tech. Just a crazy day. I think he had one of the best combine performances for a running back I've ever seen. 4.32 40-yard dash. That's nuts. He definitely raised his draft stock in a really good running back draft. I would say he's at least top 5. At least, I would say. And he's going to surprise a few people. I think if he goes in a late round to maybe like the Broncos or a team that needs a running back like that, I think he could really prove his worth and really become a starter in the league and be a sleeper pick in fantasy, if we're being honest. But that's all I have for the winners. Let me know what you guys think about that, if I was wrong, if I was right. And then I'm going to get into some losers here. Let's see, I got 5 losers, so we'll run through this quick. Cam Jackson, the defensive lineman from Florida. I think he just had poor hands, poor change of direction. He looked slow and almost fatigued. A combine it's supposed to show your athleticism. It kind of did the opposite for him. I don't think he had a very good performance. I think it did probably tank his draft stock a little bit. I have Warren Brinson as well, the defensive lineman from Georgia. He actually had to sit out of a few drills because he got tired so fast. When you're a defensive lineman, that is not what you want. And especially if you're a scout, you're saying, whoa, this guy can't perform on every single down. Yeah, draft stock's going down. And then a little bit of a joke pick here. I have Isaiah Bond. He's obviously very good. Great wide receiver from Texas. But come on, you can't say you're going to break the 40 record and run a sub 440. That's bad. I won't lie. But, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just a disappointing combine because if he had ran that fast, we've seen guys go way higher than they should have because of a good 40 time. So he probably, had the chance to up his stock. Couldn't get it done. And I have 2 last guys here, and it's kind of watered down at this point. You've probably already heard about it. 2 QBs. Will Howard from Ohio State. Yikes. That's all I have to say. Just yikes. Terrible, terrible combine performance from a guy who wasn't really rated that high. He needed this to prove, hey, I am good enough to be in this draft. No, you ain't. Sorry, pal. Just plain inaccurate on all levels. Terrible combine performance. One of the worst I've ever seen out of a QB. And his draft stock went down the drain with that one. And my last guy here, Jalen Milroe, QB from Alabama. I've been saying he shouldn't be top 5. I don't think he's going to be a starting quarterback in the league. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's good enough of a passer. He could end up being like a Taysom Hill, maybe. That would be a fun little set for him. But at least from a QB pocket passing standpoint, he proved he has an inaccuracy problem. He's got a strong arm, so if you can coach that up, great. But he's got a very strong arm. He can really laser the ball in there, but it's going to be 10 yards over your head. And I think that he definitely proved that in the combine. That's not something scouts want to see. So those are my losers. Let me know if you disagree with me. Let me know what you think overall about my picks. If I missed anybody, if I said someone was good and they were bad. I don't know. You let me know. But that will do it for this short episode of Field Goals and Forecast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.